Spoiler warning. Yep, you read the title correctly. Episode 6 of Squid Game is where the show ends. It's an amazing ending to a decent, dare I say, good show, concluding the arc of Oh Il-nam, the man that shines a true light on the miserable people around him. He is the heart of the show. Instead of the rich poking at the poor for their amusement, and the poor committing morally questionable acts to survive, Oh Il-nam shows where the goodness in humanity can be found. He is the only person in the Squid Game not motivated by money. When money is the only thing on your mind, you lose sight of what's really important. Seong Gi-hoon taking the marble with him symbolizes the imparted wisdom he has taken from Oh Il-nam, the physical manifestation of their friendship, and something that remains with him after he clears the Squid Game and uses his money to live with his beloved daughter in Korea, happily ever after. Now I hate to say this, but I have just lied to you. Squid Game is in fact a 9-episode show, and I have fooled you into thinking it wasn't. Now, I have access to the secret 7th, 8th, and 9th episodes of Squid Game, and I'm gonna go through with them with you guys because this is a review and stuff. But I must warn you that what I'm about to show you is some of the worst episodes of television I have ever seen. Actively taking a massive shit on the characterizations and plot build-up created by the previous episodes. So you can take the blue pill and leave, which is a perfectly fine option. Or you can take the red pill and understand my pain. I'll give you time. Okay, time's up. Well, if you're still listening to this, your choice has been made. Let us begin. So episode 7 mainly surrounds a game where you jump on glass tiles to progress forward. One is fermented, meaning it can hold up to 2 people's weight, and one is just regular glass, meaning if you jump on it, it will break and you will die. This is the episode which pretty much kills off the rest of the cast, which is nice and stuff, but near the end is where the writing becomes lazy. So number 13 can see which glass is fermented or not because he's a glass manufacturer or something. So we basically can Deus Ex Machina the last 3 contestants out of the game. So why couldn't he find out this information before? Because the first 2 tiles weren't broken. Hey guys, I can see which glass is fermented or not. Let me go forward. Everyone lets him, cause why not? Bada bing, bada boom, tons of people are saved. But oh no, the last 2, they turn off the lights so we can't see which tiles are fermented. What happened to making this a fair competition? I don't remember anything like this happening in the previous games. But wait, it's actually fine. You see, you can also tell from the sound if hit from a hard object. Seong Gi-hoon's gonna save the day with his marble. But oh no, he can't tell because of course you can only tell the difference if you had both sounds and you only had one object. So he just threw away that thematically impactful object for no fucking reason. Great. Also, forget about Song-woo's glasses. He sure forgot about them back in episode 2. It's not like people need glasses to fucking see. So Song-woo has to push off number 13 Burger King foot lettuce off to progress. Of course, then, right after, the glass plates explode for no reason. I mean, no fucking reason. My bad. Was it gunshots? No, cause the rifles make a specific sound. Bombs? Well, no, cause then the rail would be destroyed. What if the rails turned and the glass shot upward? Well, no, cause then the light bulbs on the side would face a different direction. Wait. Why am I so focused on this? Well, because bullshit random glass shards impale Kang Se-byuk, but not Cho Sang-woo or Seong Gi-hoon. Now, it wouldn't be very fair to the VIPs if the people they had bet on had all been impaled by random lethal glass shards. But because Seong Gi-hoon and Cho Sang-woo have plot armor, they only get scratches on their faces to make them look more edgy, lol. Okay, next episode. For some reason, episode 7 is 30 minutes while the rest are 50-ish. Is this because the writers are too incompetent to make this episode a normal length? Maybe. Okay, so after the game's over, Seong Gi-hoon's like, why'd you push him off? And I'm like, why are you asking this question? Episode 2 clearly shows how people can die here and they still choose to participate thanks to the generosity, choice of Oh Il-nam to call off the game and let everyone leave. Now, of course, they did not know the option to kill others was allowed when they all signed back up in episode 2. But Seong Gi-hoon doesn't have blood-free hands either, as seen in episode 6. Seong Gi-hoon easily could have lost the game because he doesn't want to kill Oh Il-nam. Now, you could also say Cho Sang-woo preyed on Ali Abdul to win the game, but again, how is this different? Also, Cho Sang-woo pushing off number 13 is kind of justified for not moving to the front and saving all those people. But really, morality is not a point total game. It's your decision to see who is morally just with the information we know of both contestants. Good works of art display a situation like this with layers of gray to allow the audience to choose who is right and who is wrong. But Squid Game does not know that a notion like this even exists. So of course, Young Gi-hoon is the one to act and is displayed as morally superior to Cho Sang-woo in this scenario, calling him things like a psychopath, creating the contrived conflict that fuels the remaining episodes. Also, this episode is the conclusion to the policeman's arc, where he can't get a signal on the island to reveal the truth about the Squid Game, and the front man behind the whole operation is the guy's brother. Holy shit, oh my god, you guys see the coming, oh my god. I was waiting for him to rip off his CGI flesh mask and reveal that he was someone more important, but nope, this is what we get. He shoots his brother and he dies, and we gain nothing for the entire 8 episodes this plotline lasted. His last words were literally, why? Yeah, care to answer that? I mean, you're gonna kill him anyway. Maybe the Raiders didn't have an answer. Just a thought. Okay, so after that, they cut back to the last 3 with knives to spice things up, and now Seong Gi-hoon is scared his childhood friend might stab him because he participated in the game as intended in a completely logical manner. So now Seong Gi-hoon is super close with Kang Se-byuk because she is the poster child of the series, but also because she's not Cho Sang-woo. Now, some people argue that the sudden abrupt switch in character is somehow justified because they are both parental figures to 10-year-old children, and promise to take care of one another's loved ones if they somehow make it out alive. I actually buy into that connection somewhat, but it's not that strong of a connection to validate Seong Gi-hoon's complete switch in personality, but I will keep it noted. So then, Cho Sang-woo appears to have fallen asleep, and Seong Gi-hoon's irrational psychopathic hatred towards his childhood friend manifests in him moving in to murder him with his knife. And Kang Se-byuk tells him, Now, I will be fair and say this line made me laugh my fucking ass off, because it is somewhat true. But how can someone you've known for like a month tops say some bullshit like that? It's like if that weird kid in US history who sits next to you started psychoanalyzing you based on how often you raise your hand in class. It's a pathetic attempt to add a reasonable, heartfelt connection between these two characters. So Seong Gi-hoon finds the flesh wound caused by the glass shard Kun, and he runs to try and get someone to aid her. Did he forget about episode 4 where Jang Deok-soo murdered someone in front of everyone, including the Squid Game staff, and they did nothing? Now this allows for the biggest plot twist in the whole show, that Cho Sang-woo wasn't a normal person being called a psychopath, but was actually a psychopath, murdering Kang Se-byuk to make him a hate sink for the remaining episodes, ruining what was a perfectly fine character. Episode 9, okay, let's get the shit show over with. So while they play the Squid Game, Cho Sang-woo says the reason he killed Kang Se-byuk is because they would end the Squid Game so that they could take her to a hospital. I'm pretty sure she would be dead by the morning anyway. I mean, look at that wound. And if not, I don't think Kang Se-byuk would forgo the money just helping Seong Gi-hoon take down Cho Sang-woo with a sandful in the eyes, or throwing her knife at him as a distraction or weapon, or by dying and motivating Seong Gi-hoon to kill Cho Sang-woo. Okay, so after pinning Cho Sang-woo to the ground, Seong Gi-hoon wants to end the Squid Game, but a 50% vote isn't a majority. Would they flip a coin? That would be much more climactic than this bullshit ending we got. So like an idiot, Cho Sang-woo kills himself and tells Seong Gi-hoon to help his mother with the money he's earned. Now, wouldn't having Seong Gi-hoon have to kill his best friend be a good way to end the Squid Game? It just makes perfect sense. The only way to not have Seong Gi-hoon kill another person during the Squid Game is with a cop-out like this. It doesn't feel earned in the slightest. Wasn't this the psychopath we saw murder Kang Se-byuk for no good reason, like literally 20 minutes beforehand? Of course, Seong Gi-hoon cries like a bitch over Cho Sang-woo's dead body. I wonder how he'd react over that same dead body yesterday night if Kang Se-byuk had talk no jutsu'd him out of killing him then. Of course, right afterwards, Seong Gi-hoon is talking to the front man, where he just keeps asking him, "Who are you?" Again, good question. How about we don't answer it? Anyway, Seong Gi-hoon gets dumped onto the street and he goes home to see his mother has died. Okay, let's pause here. Seong Gi-hoon has just won the Squid Game and has an unbelievably large sum of cash. Of course, he's gone into his edgy phase, so he's not going to use the money for himself because sad boys don't use money, I guess. But he still has some obligations to complete. Kang Se-byuk's little brother is still in that orphanage. Cho Sang-woo's mother isn't doing too hot either. What about the debts you had since episode 1? Did they just vanish? How about your goddamn motherfucking daughter? The person you went to the Squid Game for in the first place? Well, a 1-year time skip later and he has done absolutely nothing. The show carefully sidesteps the specific answers to these questions with a vague as hell time skip that accomplishes nothing. Again, what happened in episode 2? Seong Gi-hoon left the Squid Game after seeing everyone die, but joined back again because he thought the money was worth it. He was sad because he was poor and he couldn't be a good father. Now he's sad because the people he loved are dead. Now, remember that he could have taken that money from his ex-wife's boyfriend to help his mother, the money that he could most definitely pay back by now. Her still being alive will remind him of the most important thing to him, family. Not using the money makes him look like he's focusing on the fact that the money hasn't made him happy. But no shit, money doesn't give you happiness, it's what you spend it on. How about using just 1 million of the 45 billion you have to start being a real father? This was your second chance and you fucking blew it. So while Seong Gi-hoon is out drinking on the river, he gets a Squid Game message to meet at a specific place. So he goes into the building on the designated floor. And Oh Nam is still alive. He's still alive. Okay. And he's the man behind the whole Squid Game. And insanely rich. Okay. And he knew he was going to die at this exact date with enough time left over to actively ruin whatever goodwill I had left towards this show. Okay. As decently foreshadowed as this twist was, turning the best character in the entire show, someone who thematically shines a light on how greed is not the way to happiness, into the worst character by revealing that he ran the entire operation and is easily the richest person in the entire show, was a choice. So the final scene in episode 6, the marble. Everything this character stood for and represented. It wasn't real. Forget him not being motivated by money to play the Squid Game, he wasn't even going to die in the first place. Oh Il-nam has murdered countless people for the amusement of his rich asshole friends and he isn't fazed in the slightest. No Oh Il-nam, no dumbass writers. Having too much money is not a problem. Darman could have come up with more poignant social commentary than that. So, to remedy this lack of fun, they made a betting game where poor people are pointlessly murdered to progress, and the rich bet on which contestants will win. So it's just horse betting, but you murder innocent, desperate people to satisfy your extremely petty boredom.
정말 아직도 사람을 믿나?
A persistent theme throughout Squid Game is humanity and how it can be corrupted by greed. Every character in some way is acting in the desire for money, or is corrupted by having too much of it, even if that last part is unbelievably stupid. The thing that makes me loathe this line even more than the previous one is that Oh Il-nam is part of the problem. You could have done a million things with your time and money, but instead you create an elaborate game where hundreds of people are forced to act solely out of greed, causing them to turn on one another with murderous intent, along with the countless that die trivially by breaking off a random piece of a honeycomb or something. This ties into my next point. You see, this scene also includes a bet. From their window, they can see a drunk homeless person out in the cold. If no one helps him, he will freeze to death. This scene was of course intended to have Seong Gi-hoon go help the man, showing that he is still human enough to save someone from pointlessly dying. But think about what is really happening here. The poor are being bet on by the rich to see if the poor will survive. Oh Il-nam doesn't care about the man, or any of the men and women he has killed to watch his twisted game. Before this reveal, Oh Il-nam to me was a character with the most amount of humanity. Now he has turned into the one with the least. With your boundless amount of cash, you could have aided all of the contestants who have entered your game, but you actively chose not to. In fact, you created that hellish game in the first place. Burn in hell, Oh Il-nam. And now that the only character with humanity never had any in the first place, what is left but Seong Gi-hoon? He went down the elevator and saved the homeless drunk from death, proving he still has enough humanity left within him to begin doing the right thing. Except that isn't what happens. Instead, he does nothing as a random bystander calls the police and they pick up the homeless drunk. This is the push needed to get Seong Gi-hoon to do the things he should have done 1 year ago. So first, Seong Gi-hoon gets a haircut, dyeing all of it red. Red hair. What am I even looking at? Okay. So Todoroki goes to the orphanage that Kang Si-byok's brother was at and gives him to Cho Sang-woo's mother, along with all the cash. Then, while he's at the airport calling his daughter, he sees the recruiter, recruiting other people into the Squid Game. So after taking the Squid Game card, Gaara is left with two options. 1. Board the airplane and go see your daughter like a normal person. Or 2. Attempt to take down the entire Squid Game by yourself when, after thousands of missing persons cases over 30 plus years, the Korean police have yet to discover the activity taking place on the Squid Game as a single person with little to no money that the police don't trust. Obviously 2, of course, because it also means season 2. Haha, get it? And that is the end of Squid Game, and how 3 episodes of a somewhat decent show turned into an absolutely abysmal train wreck. Shank's character flips back and forth to the point that I don't even know what his motivations are by the end. The characters will bend backwards to make Natsu look like the second coming of Jesus Christ, creating character drama that is so forced I actively laughed out loud during the show's most tense moments. And of course, ruining the thematic core of a show that actually had something of worth to say, replacing it with something that feels hollow and pointless. What hurts me the most is that a good story was so obviously and easily there, as you could see by the opening of this very video. It still boggles me why the writers decided to make this show like this, when you had the answer right in the palm of your fucking hand. Anyway, if you enjoyed that, leave a like. Didn't? Leave a dislike. Subscribe for more, and thanks for watching.